That is still out of commission because there's something still stuck in the line that we're not exactly sure what it is. Okay. The maintenance staff is positive that it was intentional actions of someone who caused this vandalism. Okay. The following items were pulled from the toilets on the 11th floor: Solo cups, Stridex face pads, and tape.
There was also a drawstring bag that they found too.
Okay, and a drawstring bag. That wasn't included in my original report. Okay. If it's not crap or toilet tissue, it doesn't belong there. Do we understand each other?
Yes, sir.
Okay. To have a building this size where the toilets don't work will put everybody in the world to hurt. We can get porta-johns outside if that would be where the preferred location of going to the bathroom would be. I don't think that's what you want, and that's not what I want either. Okay. The maintenance staff will be here on Monday again to try to work on the other side of the bathroom. We know that it will cost between $200 and $1,500 to make repairs to this bathroom. Okay. The side of the bathroom that they cannot get working, they are going to have to remove the toilets and actually go into the line under the floor and in the walls to try to figure out what is causing this blockage. Okay? You guys are living together. Okay? And you as a community, I believe that you living with the people on your floor, you have a better ability to find out who caused the damage than any of the three of us do. Okay? If you took the time to read the online handbook, which you haven't gotten, you haven't gotten the web address for that yet, but it's on the housing website. You can access it from the housing website. There's a concept there that talks about community billing. Okay? If I don't like instituting community billing because I think that people who do things need to be held accountable for their actions and that their actions should not be passed on to the people on the floor. So you have until Monday to talk with Shane or your RA about who may have caused this vandalism on your floor. Okay? Because we would prefer to hold that person or those people accountable and hold them financially accountable for the damage. Okay? But if we're not able to do that, then we will pass the cost associated with this intentional vandalism, because that's what the maintenance staff is outlining that it was. We don't have Solo cups that just magically appear in the commode. Okay? We will pass the cost of this damage on to the 11th floor. Okay? And hold on, I'll take your questions in just a second. How do you know it was any of us? You're right, I don't. We don't. Could have been somebody. But people don't normally just go to certain floors unless they're there to see somebody that lives there. Okay? Or they know someone that is there. Okay? So you guys need to keep your eyes open and your ears open and help us out with this, because you don't want to eat the charges that are associated with this, and we don't want you to. I hope that this is not an indication of what can be expected in the upcoming year. We haven't even started classes yet. And this isn't the way that you all want to spend your first year. We want this to be a comfortable place to live, and this is not comfortable. It's not comfortable for you. It's not comfortable for me to receive that kind of call, or the other staff to have to deal with this. The maintenance men, yeah, when they started pulling this stuff out of the toilet, I'm sure it wasn't comfortable for them either. Okay? Questions? Yes, sir.
Do you think instilling trash cans inside the bathroom would help? Like the probability of people putting stuff in the toilet, like it decrease?
Yeah, because there's not a trash can anywhere up there.
There is not a trash can in the bathrooms at this time. I don't know why there aren't trash cans. I can find out that answer to that question. We will not put a 55-gallon trash can in the bathrooms because we know that students bring their trash to the bathroom instead of putting it where it belongs in the dumpster or down the trash chute. Okay? So if we were to put a trash can, it would be a small trash can that would be reserved for things like razors, Stridex pads, those kind of things, not cups and not, balls of tape. Some of the things they pulled out of the line, I don't even know that having a trash can would have been beneficial. The way that the cups were in the toilet, the balls of tape, a drawstring bag that somebody has on there that somebody would, have a gym bag, those are not things that you would even have thrown away in the trash. But we can look into that as an option, a small trash can. Yes, sir.
Will somebody look at the cameras? I was really curious about that. See it. Because I think a lot of us who got back to the dorm was pretty late last night, and it wasn't in a bad condition.
Yeah, like people who got back at like 2:30 were saying
I woke up this morning.
there was nothing wrong.
Well, sometime between the hours of 2:30 and this morning at, what time did you call me? A little after 9?
People were smelling at like 7.
Yeah. 7.
Okay.
So it'd be a big help if we could have faces to
Yeah.
at least look at and maybe find.
We can work with Stephen and with Shane to review the cameras.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Are there other questions? Okay. Monday at 5 o'clock, if we haven't heard anything from this floor, we will start the process of community billing. Okay. At this time, there are 6 people that have not checked into the 11th floor. There are 6 people that are still left to check in. Those people will not be included in the billing process. Okay. If we have to pull 2 toilets, I asked this morning the director of maintenance and operations for the department, from the time they take the toilet off the floor to snake it out and to put it back, it would be $250 approximately a toilet. So if we pull 2, it's $500, and at this point, that's if that's all that they have to do. Okay. If because of this damage we actually have to replace a toilet, they run about $500+ a piece, plus someone to come in and have the plumbing plumbed to that new commode. Okay. We want to provide you with good facilities, but the Department of University Housing, the University of Mississippi, is not going to eat the charges for intentional acts of vandalism. Okay. If there are no other questions, did you have a question? You just stretching? Okay. Okay. Yeah. If there are no other questions, please feel free to reach out to Shane or to Stephen between now and Monday afternoon. Okay? We will notify you in writing on probably Tuesday morning, because that's at 5 o'clock on Monday is the deadline. On Tuesday morning, if we have to go and institute community billing, for this floor will notify you in writing via email. Okay? With exact charges of what it will be to replace and what the split will be if necessary. Okay? If there are no questions, I thank you so much for attending.
If you didn't sign in already,